Because if I keep going, I take you a couple of days. And then, so I don't want to do that. So if you have questions, inshallah, we can proceed.
Okay, inshallah. Before we do the question, inshallah, just I want people to stick to this guideline, inshallah. Make sure it's questions on fiqh, aqidah that we've been going through over 16 months, I think. So inshallah, stick it to manhaj, firq. The Sheikh's mentioned it, Mu'tazila, Shia, Rafida, anything to do with qawl, iman, amal, and so on, inshallah. And please use hikmah when asking the question. Okay? Think before you ask the question, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, inshallah.
So to ask a question about something that's happening in Egypt at the moment. Just what's happened that some of the mashayikh there, they have said that the actions of basically the protest is not allowed Islamically, and some people have said that it's allowed Islamically. If you can just look into that and just a little bit, if you don't mind. So
yes, inshallah.
Understand.
Inshallah. Well, basically, those sheikhs who said it is not allowed, unfortunately, they don't understand. They never grasped the meaning of Islam. They never grasped it. It doesn't matter who the name is, because we don't worship names, guys. We go after principles. So I don't care who said so. Anybody who say that standing against a tyrant, against a person who say it loud and clear, he is a secular and he is governing a secular country, who will never allow Sharia to rule in his country. A person who is taking away the wealth and the dignity of his people for 30 years, like what happened in Egypt, and accumulate $70 billion in 30 years, $30 billion, and having his people going in debt, and 4 million people live in graveyards in Egypt. 4 million people, only in Cairo, live in graveyards. They open the graves and go inside to sleep during the night. And a guy is telling me, under the name of Islam, it's not allowed. This is the stupidest thing that anybody can come out with. The stupidest thing. They never grasped what the meaning of Islam. These are the people we call, that they have their ancestors called al-Zahiriyya. Al-Zahiriyya is a madhab in fiqh. But they stick to the words of a hadith and they never think about it. But let me tell you one thing. I'm going to take off my coat for this question. because now this is important. You want a piece of me now? So what I'm saying is that Islam is about Islam. Why we have Islam? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Islam to human beings? To live free, freedom. Even when the Sahabi went to Rustam in the Kisra place, he told him, we came to free you from worshipping anything to the freedom of worshipping Allah. So freedom is a very big word. When you take it away from people, you take away the essence of Islam. You know, Islam cannot live under suppression and oppression. It can. They don't come together. These people, like Zahiriyya, like I said, Zahiriyya are the people who follow the words of Quran or Sunnah literally. They don't think about anything. They have no thinking. And there are two Islam. Ahl Sunnah is in the middle. There is another, aspect. You look to Islam from. We looked from the sects, but within fiqh itself, we talk now fiqh madhab. Within fiqh there is two schools. There are two schools. one school which is Ahl al-Ra'i, and the other school Ahl al-Zahir. The people who actually talk literally, the literal people who follow the letters, and people who follow the Ra'i, whatever the Ra'i, you know, Ra'i is whatever your thinking is. So Ahl Sunnah don't do that. Ahl Sunnah take both. They actually think, look at the hadith, so we use hadith, but think about it, because let me give you a rule here. When we talk about allowed or not allowed, the question you just raised, this is a fatwa, right? So these guys, some sheikhs give fatwa that it's not allowed to stand against this ruler, and some said it's allowed. So this is a fatwa. What fatwa consists of? Fatwa consists of two things. It's like an equation. 1 + 2 = 3. One in fatwa is al-hukm, the absolute ruling in Quran and Sunnah. I'll give an example. Khamr is haram. This is an absolute ruling. A ruling that is not attached to anything. It's just in the air. Khamr haram, so good. And then you go home, right? There's nothing. Then, plus, fatwa is this, plus, is this haram or not? See, this is a situation. This is ruwaqa. This is reality now. So, we say, okay, let's take it. Let's see if it has enough alcohol to make you drunk or whatever. And then yes, we come up with the result that, yeah, this is khamr. So we add it to the first part of the equation. Khamr is haram. This is khamr equals what?
Haram.
This is haram. This is a fatwa. The fatwa always attached to a reality, to something in hand, to an action, right? The fatwa is not something in the air, just flying around. This is an absolute ruling. So there are many absolute rulings. And there are millions, indefinite actually, number of situations. Everyone has a situation about something. So you take this and you get this situation, you get a fatwa, new fatwa, new fatwa. So that's why the ulama Ahl Sunnah said أن الفتوى تتغير بتغير الزمان والمكان. They say fatwa changes with time, zaman, place, المكان, situation, الحال. Right? Why? Because of what I said. Because this little equation, the absolute ruling plus the situation equals a fatwa. So don't confuse the absolute ruling with the fatwa. Don't confuse the two together. So when you ask me, Hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what did the people say? These people who said, oh, this is not allowed. They looked at a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam who said, عليكم السمع والطاعة وإن تأمر عليكم عبد الحبشي فاسمعوا وأطيعوا وإن جلد ظهورهم ظهوركم وأخذ أموالكم. If he hit you, even if the imam hit you, even if he takes your money, even if he did whatever to you, ما أقاموا فيكم الصلاة, unless they, until, as long as they make prayers for you. أقاموا فيكم الصلاة. You say, okay. But look, guys, all this ahadith actually is in one situation, which is a situation. It's good in a situation where we're talking about a sinful imam. Sinful imam, what does it mean? Means the imam who actually, this is a mistake in their way of understanding tawheed. When somebody comes and say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, somebody we don't know, we say this is a Muslim, right away. Until then we see him come, what is this, a Quran? That's nonsense. So what do you say then? Is he still Muslim?
No.
Why? He says La ilaha illallah because he committed an action that actually refuted the saying. So La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, it is not a hijab. You know, people carry, you know hijab, an omen that people carry against kufr. No. People can do actions that is kufr and they still say the word. It doesn't matter. That's why, because Islam, you go to Islam in one way, you come out, so there is hundreds of ways to come out of Islam. You can tear out the Quran, you can mix insult to Rasulullah. There are many ways you can go out of Islam from. You can deny something that is, you say no, Salah is not of a ritual in Islam. That's kufr, right? This is kufr. So there are many ways, there are only one way to go to Islam, which is La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Right? But there are hundreds of ways to come out of it. That's why the fuqaha were very smart. They say whoever comes out of Islam, if he wants to go in again, he has to go in through the door he left from. You understand? Someone said, oh, la ilaha illallah. Then one of day he came out with an idea. He said, no, who said there is zakah? There is no zakah in Islam. Like mani' zakah al-murtadeen at the time of Abu Bakr. And then we said, what are you saying? He said, no, I was wrong. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. No, don't play this. You have to say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah and there is zakah. Because this is the door you went out from. Right? That's very, it makes sense, common sense. That's what ulama said. So when we look at these rulers, they made the rulers who actually announced that they are secular and they are ruling with rules against Sharia and they are committed to prevent Sharia from prevailing, and they are killing the dua of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are out of the fold of Islam. They are not Muslim. These are not Muslims. These are out of Islam. Hosni Mubarak, Qaddafi, these people are not Muslims, guys. And the people close to them say that, you know, a story. It is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran in more than 50 ayahs, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ إِنِ الْحُكْمُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ وَأَنْ احْكُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِمَا أَرَاكَ اللَّهُ أَفَحُكْمَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ يَبْغُونَ. All ayahs that actually tells you that ruling with Sharia is the base of Tawheed. It's submitting to Tawheed. You as an individual, if you refuse or refute one ruling, absolute ruling of Sharia, you said no, khamr is not haram. Then we put you 3 days in a prison, sitab. We ask you, are you still saying that? You said, 3 days, get your head off. Why? Because you actually is a murtad now. You denied ما علم من الدين من الضرورة. You denied something that is known, that is a basic knowledge in Islam. If you deny something that's not basic knowledge, people had to really dig thoroughly to find, then that is not applied because the normal people don't know it. So even if you denied it, maybe you don't have the knowledge enough. So you denied it out of ignorance. But it is agreed, a consensus between every single alim in Ahl Sunnah and even the ulama of sects that if you deny something that is known, basic known in Sharia, you're out. The same thing that people these rulers who rule with laws are made up laws, and they not only that, and they put the Sharia aside as well. You say no, Sharia. We don't, like some now are calling in Egypt to have a secular state. They call it modern secular Egypt. They want that. Of course, inshallah, it's not going to happen. But some of the secular people, in the mass, they want to do that. But what happens now is these rulers, these hadith that these people